Hello and welcome to Newsweek's Parting Shot with H. Alan Scott. I'm H. Alan Scott. Today we're talking about Netflix's Zero Day. It is about a global cyber attack, and Robert De Niro is tasked with figuring out it all. But also, Angela Bassett's involved, Joan Allen's involved, Connie Britton's hair is involved. I mean, this show, you have to watch this show. You know, I can't do it justice. Just check out this trailer.
3,402 people died on Zero Day. Plane crashes, train derailments, total chaos.
Whoever's responsible for this attack, they're dangerous and they say they're going to do it again.
Congress is authorizing a special investigatory commission and endowing it with powers of surveillance, search and seizure.
You're just going to grab people off the streets without warrants.
Actually, you are. People will believe what they need to believe. The truth is the truth. But it's not always the most important thing.
You know what I love about a trailer? It tells you enough, but it doesn't tell you everything.
I'm going to tell you, that got my blood pressure up.
I mean, take some medication.
The stakes were high just now.
Yes.
I said, I don't even know. There was a catastrophe. Yeah. Angela Bassett said something.
But she's on it, so we're good.
Jesus take the wheel.
Jesus
and
take
by
the
Jesus,
wheel.
I mean Angela.
And because it looks just so gripping, it got me thinking about things like personal freedoms and like our own security and who's in control of the government and conspiracy theories and should I be taping up the little camera on my computer? I have very serious questions, which is why I invited a not serious guest on the podcast to discuss it. Joining me to chat about all that and more is my good friend and comedian, Naomi Ekperigin. Hello, Naomi.
Hey.
Oh, okay. So you are no stranger to Netflix.
Oh, yes. Netflix and I, we're in a relationship.
What have you done on Netflix?
Well, can we talk about my set on That's My Time with David Letterman?
Oh, we can.
We can also talk about my set on season 3 of the stand-ups. Season 3, episode 2, okay? That's a half hour, okay, if you want to tuck in, all right? If you like a motion picture cameo moment, why don't you check out Yesterday, starring Jennifer Garner? Why don't you check out The Family Switch, also starring Jennifer Garner? Why don't you check out Me Time, starring Regina Hall, Kevin Hart, and Mark Wahlberg?
You are all over Netflix.
Oh, Hetty, I can't get enough. I'm just trying to get myself, a free account.
Well, you are the perfect person to be on this episode of The Parting Shot because we're talking about Netflix's Zero Day, which I think now with your resume at Netflix, you need to be in season 2.
Okay, let's
of
work
Zero
on
Day.
it. Yes.
Who would you be? I believe it would have to be to Angela Bassett just because we both love and appreciate Angela Bassett so
Yes.
much. Who would you be in relation to Angela Bassett in a show about global cyber attack?
Oh, God, that's a really good question. I mean, are we related?
Oh.
Is she fun auntie or are we sisters? What do we think in terms of my age
With the
range?
amount of power that she has in this show, I don't think she's fun auntie. I think she's too busy to be fun auntie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think in this situation, you need to be like, secretary coming in being like, I'm one step away from Angela Bassett.
Yes, no nonsense assistant.
Yes.
I know what she needs before she even says it.
Yes.
And I am keeping her like on the rails and I'm keeping
You're
her
like
sane.
her Mrs. Landingham from The West Wing, basically.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
what
you
she could
so
be.
much. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
for writing that part. Thank you
Well,
for pitching that.
Zero Day, I mean, gripping show about a global cyber attack. And it really does make you question sort of, who do you trust about truth and like, who do you believe even? Do you believe our government? Can we trust anyone? Or even your friends who, can we trust anyone these days with our technology and who's watching over us? So I want to ask you, Naomi, do you trust the government?
Is this on the record?
I mean, there are mics in front of us.
Because you know what? I do not. And I think that is just... I don't trust a lot.
Yeah.
I don't trust a lot. That's just me, honey. I grew up in
Are
Harlem
you
in the
always
80s.
questioning?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel.
Okay.
Okay? You can't trust nobody in these streets.
Wait, so then are you the type of person that has the little piece of tape over the camera on your computer?
Yeah.
Who is watching you? Who do you think is watching you?
I don't know, but I will not be your fodder. Okay? I don't No, I'm not saying what I'm doing is dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Because that begs the question. I do wonder, like,
Yes.
I don't put tape over my camera because I know that if whoever's watching me, they're watching a very boring show. It is a sad show. If anything, they could probably offer me some life advice on things that I could be doing better in my life. Like, person in Russia, tell me, do I need new things in my life? Do I need to be watching something else? So, like, who do you think is watching you and why are you so special?
Okay, what did I say? I did not say I was special. What I said was I'm somebody who is in front of her laptop doing all sorts of things, okay? I am scrolling. I am also eating in front of that thing.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm crying. I don't need the malware picking up on that. I don't need people knowing my triggers.
Yeah.
Okay? That's between me and my God.
No, I get it. I don't want someone knowing my browser history either.
Yes.
But I'm also not ashamed of my browser history because I feel like, A, in the wrong hands, it could look like a cry for help. But B, it could also look like a really dynamic human who's living his life to the fullest.
Wow, that's huge. Mine would not be that.
No?
It would not lead to dynamism. You would say she's ordering a lot of pet medications for delivery.
Yeah.
The food service is off the charts.
Are you, do you worry about what your food deliveries say about you to perhaps a foreign person looking in, watching what you're doing? Like, what does that say about you?
Okay. You know how if you get food delivery, sometimes they'll take a picture saying, like, this is where we've left it? The number of pictures where they catch me coming to the door like Nosferatu. It's giving Nosferatu. I am just hunched over, reaching for the bag.
Amazon does that where they'll take a picture of the package left outside your apartment, and I guess they do that with Uber Eats and all these other places too. Like, the amount of uncomfortable, like, the reality that I'm ordering lots of Burger King or something is frankly embarrassing, but also I'm not ashamed of it. I don't mind them looking into that.
That's beautiful. That's
Thank
beautiful
you.
that you said, you know what, I am who I am.
It's my eat, pray, love era. You know?
It's just eat, stress, eat.
Well, yes. Well, okay, so on this show, Angela Bassett is in charge, and Angela Bassett calls in Robert De Niro to get the job done, which frankly, I think we all know Angela Bassett never needs to call anyone in to get any job done because she can do every job.
Right.
Would you trust, if Angela Bassett was the one watching in on you through your computer screen, would you be okay with that?
Well, actually, yes, because then I would be talking about computer being like, Angela, how do I fix this? Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
If
yes.
I knew Angela was on the other side,
Yeah.
oh, we would be engaged in therapy sessions. One way, I'd be monologuing. I'd be like, you can take over my computer screen, okay? Take over the keyboard and type the answers for me, please.
And every single answer would be light the match, drop it in the car, and walk away in slow motion.
Walk away.
That's how she would solve every problem. I'm referencing Waiting to Exhale for all of the children out there. So when we're talking about like global cyber attacks or even conspiracy theories, anything like that, and people who tape the computer on their screen and everything, I'm sure you're a conspiracy theory person then. You have to kind of be if you're that worried that someone's watching in.
Look, what I believe is that there's some things I don't know, okay? And there are things that are above my pay grade that are going on, okay? And now, does that make me a conspiracy theorist?
I mean,
Or someone who is aware that more is going on?
someone who's just socially aware, who's listening to the websites that may or may not be factually accurate. That's all.
You know I love to listen to websites.
I do. just listen. It's just words. And you're like, why aren't you talking to me? No, so I guess the biggest conspiracy theory, the theory that I think everyone talks about is the Illuminati. And which begs the question, do you think Beyonce is running the world? And frankly, are you okay with that?
Here's the thing. I wish she was. She's not. She's not. Because I can tell by how dry everybody's skin is. Okay? I can tell by how broke people are.
Yes.
If Beyonce was running the world, we would be moisturized and flush with cash.
Well, if she was running the world, she would have won Album of the Year many years ago and not just in 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she was surprised tells you that she's not running the world. Because that was a real, frozen, she said, wait, what's happening?
Yes.
She's not running it. I want her to be. I would give her the nuclear codes, absolutely.
I would trust Beyonce with the nuclear codes. She'd probably write a song about it. Maybe the nuclear codes, if she is in the Illuminati, are within one of Beyonce's songs, and we just don't even know it.
That could be
What if Run the World actually is End the World?
What about the song Countdown? We're counting down.
See? There are so many... Bootylicious. What does that say about global security? I don't know, but I
don't
bet
think you're ready.
Putin's listening. Another thing that Zero Day does that I think is just so brilliant is it makes us question our own freedoms and the amount of freedom that we have and that we hold so dear as Americans, but yet could be taken away in a second by someone appointed by a president who can just like do powerful things. So are you worried about your own personal freedoms?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm Black in America, okay? I know I'm on borrowed time. So I am just hoping for the best at every turn.
Yeah.
Okay?
Do you think that some people who aren't elected to office, like rich people or people appointed to certain things, or just because of the matter of their history, they're able to be like in this show, Robert De Niro, he's just an ex-president who's tasked with solving this like massive global cyber attack. He's not elected. I mean, he was elected.
He was, but back then. But now nobody asking him now.
Nobody's asking him to do anything other than maybe like, give a speech or something. So why is he given this much power? Like, should those people who have access to power like that have that much power?
I think if you want power, you should not have it. The person who wants power actually needs to be put off on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay? I need you in a castaway situation. You can just be powerful over that little
Looking
volleyball.
for Wilson.
Honey,
Looking for Wilson.
You and Wilson.
Yes.
You and Wilson. I don't actually need you in charge of anything.
Well, so it does make me wonder, like, what are some things that I'm okay with the government having total control over? For example, for me, I'm fine with them controlling, like, everything with cars. I don't understand. When I was a kid, I tried to understand how to fix a car. My dad looked at me with that glossed look over my eyes. He was like, some people in the world need AAA. You need AAA. I need AAA.
Yeah.
I need it. I would trust Robert De Niro with my car, but I wouldn't trust myself with my car. Sure. So I think, are there some things that you think the government should have just total control over just because it's overwhelming for you?
Oh, overwhelming for me, sure. If they could do any meal prepping, that would be great. I'd love to put them in charge of that. Grocery shopping. Because I trust them to give me vegetables.
You do?
You know what I mean? I trust them to do some basic
and
food
they aren't
pyramid
like expired?
work. They could be on the brink, but that would actually inspire me to cook it immediately.
That's true.
Right? If you only got a day or
That's
two,
true.
you're getting in there.
And everyone knows the expiration date is really just a suggested by.
Well, honey, I don't know about nowadays.
You don't think so?
Nowadays, it could be a little loosey-goosey. If you see the expiration date, it might have expired 3 weeks before that.
I used a can of tomato sauce that was a month expired, and you know what? I survived. I'm fine.
How was the
I'm
taste?
fine. It was fine. I put some oregano in it. It worked out fine for me.
Do you see how you said it was fine?
It was fine.
It was
fine.
That was the month. That was the expiration. Fine. That was expiration.
Well, there is one thing that this show does prove, that if we any personal freedoms are ever allotted to anyone, it needs to be to Connie Britton and that hair. Connie Britton is a godsend to everything that is on screen, and her hair is a character actor in and of itself.
Her hair is on the call sheet.
Yes.
Okay? Her hair has its own driver.
Yes.
Her hair has a personal assistant.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
God.
She just keeps it, that just gorgeous strawberry blonde.
We don't deserve her.
I've lived for Mrs. Coach. You know what I mean? Since the Mrs. Coach days.
I can't see. I'm not. I have a theory that straight people only want me to watch Friday Night Lights and The Wire, and I'm not watching either of those shows.
Wow.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I will tell you, I do like both of those.
I know,
I
because
do.
straight people, they love telling queer people to watch those shows. I'm not watching Friday Night Lights. It's just not happening. There's no. I will watch it for Connie Britton's hair, and that's about it.
I think if you watched it, you could just fast forward to Connie Britton moments and you would be satisfied.
Would I?
I think you would feel like you had watched a full television experience.
I did that with Meryl Streep's Julia, where if you cut out all of the Amy Adams bits, it's a wonderful film. It's like a nice little PBS documentary on Julia Child. It's actually fantastic. It's wonderful. Also in this show that we should talk about, the freedom of which Joan Allen needs to be in our lives every single day. Where has she been?
Joan Allen said, I'm only coming out here one more time for y'all, and it better be worth it. And that's how I know 0 Day is the one to watch, right?
Yes.
Because Joan Allen's not out here just willy-nilly.
She's
not just
delivering.
doing. She says, I'm giving.
There is a line from her Academy Award nominated performance from the film The Contender, where she's like trying to be vice president or something. I don't remember all the details, but she says something being like, my religion is one thing, and it's the Constitution. And I was like, I don't even care about politics, but I will vote for you, Joan Allen. And she had that tight little haircut, too. I think more politicians need to have tight little haircuts.
Well, I didn't, little Lizzie Warren's really giving us the look.
She has it, but it's not so tight.
It's not tight?
There's an air to it. There's like she moves and the hair moves. It's,
you want to just like really kind of
I want like a pixie. You know what I mean? I want someone who's like, I'm so busy doing the law that I don't have time for my hair to move.
Yes, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that.
Look, Joan doesn't just leave the house for anybody.
No.
Okay?
No.
And you know who else doesn't? Robert De Niro. This is Robert De Niro's first TV series. Okay? He said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it for Netflix.
He said, I want the freedom from cinema for the security of television. That's what Robert De Niro wanted. He wanted the regular hours.
Yes,
he wanted the
did.
9 to 5.
Absolutely. He said, I got to get home and take care of my baby.
He has a young child.
I know.
He's like 80. Oh, I'm not going to say that. But he has a young child.
I know. He needs those hours to be set. He can't be giving you a 20-hour day anymore.
No. He needs a regular TV schedule. Well, God bless Robert
I know.
De Niro.
I mean, this is the whole cast is just like cream of the crop.
It's
fire, best of the best. One of those things where when you see a cast where you're like, I'd watch them read the phone book.
Yes.
So that's the thing. It's like it's already that where I'm like, yeah, Angela Bassett, tell me anything you want. Connie Britton, tell me what to do and how to moisturize my hair. Like
with this cast, it's because it is a conspiracy thriller. There is this level of like, yeah, I want them in control of everything.
Yeah.
These are if I had to choose members of the Screen Actors Guild to be in control of certain things within my daily life and my, security stuff, it's going to be Angela Bassett or Robert De Niro.
But you know what it is, too, when it's a thriller like this, when everybody is like A-list banger? For me, every time I'm like, they got a secret.
Yeah.
They got a secret.
They know
Because these actors, they don't just come in to play one note.
No.
Okay?
No.
They've got layers. They've got secrets.
But also
they doing
people
something else.
want to talk to them. Because Angela Bassett played that press secretary in that movie Contact, Jodie Foster, about those aliens.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And someone from the government was like, wanted to get in good with Angela Bassett and just casually told her something. You just know it.
Yeah. Drop some information.
She knows where the aliens are.
Oh, yeah. She might know the nuclear codes.
I mean, and
Angela Bassett did the
I'm
thing.
okay with that.
Okay?
She did the thing.
And that could
she
be,
did what needed to be done. Wait, is that what she said in the no? Who?
The rap.
Yeah, the rap.
Goes,
Yeah.
Angela Bassett did the thing.
Yeah, yes, that was it. Okay, good. We talked a little bit about it, but Robert De Niro's character, he plays a former president, and he's given a lot of control over some pretty sensitive information about this global cyber attack that happened. So I guess I just want to dig in a little bit more about, like, do you think that how does that sit with you when someone like that has that level of control? Because he is someone who's trusted, but it's also no one voted him in. No one do they have too much information? Does he have access to too much?
Well, this is always the thing I'm thinking about, right? Like, should one person have a whole bunch of information? You got to give 20 people every other word.
Yes.
And that's just for security purposes, okay?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. I'm off the top of my dome.
Yeah.
These are my thoughts,
Yeah.
I said, you get to know 10%, you know 12%,
Yes.
you know 7%.
Yes.
So that way, no one can really be compromised.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think about it. And so now, again, this is Robert De Niro. This is Robert De Niro saying, I'm going to do a TV show. Oh, he up to something.
He's up to
going
something.
Something going on. Robert De Niro, he ain't here.
No.
He ain't
No.
here to just be good.
Well, but so then I guess I wonder, who would you be okay with having? I mean, Angela Bassett, sure, but I'm thinking of other powerful people, like an Oprah, for example. There's Oprah and Gayle. If I had any friendship in the world that could control things in my life, I would want Oprah and Gayle to be the ones controlling things.
Okay, pulling the levers. Now I'm going to tell you this. You know what I feel? I think I'd have it be Gayle.
Gayle, really?
Gayle. There's something about Gayle. Because you know what it is? Because Gayle is she's out here, but she's low key.
Yeah.
She does not have the same spotlight on her when she is not with Oprah.
That's true.
And you got to be in the shadows a little bit. You got to be in the shadows.
You also know that she's probably, of the two of them, most recently balanced her checkbook. She's the one who is rooted in a reality of understanding what it's like to use a public restroom.
Do you think? Well, no. I don't think Gayle's using a public
You don't think
restroom,
so?
but I do think she has gone to an ATM.
Yeah.
I think Gayle has had to go to an ATM.
She's forgotten her code.
She's forgotten a pin.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Oprah doesn't even have a pin.
No.
That's not something that happens.
No. Oprah walks up to an ATM and it just spits out money.
Right.
It's just it's like she's a walking QR code for just access it, just give it money. But then again, I kind of have to me, Oprah's kind of like an FDR situation in that FDR was this rich dude who got elected president and everyone was like, I'm poor and it's sad outside. And they were like, cool, let's just trust this rich dude with what to do.
Well, he was a nice rich dude.
He was a nice
rich dude.
Yeah.
Wasn't he also in his wheelchair?
He had secrets.
This is what
he had secrets. Yes, he did have secrets. And those secrets were kept from the American people because, for their security.
I like him. I miss him.
I know. There is something like, do I need to know everything? Like, honestly.
No.
I don't think I need to know everything.
I don't think so, because I'll tell you this. What I do know stresses me out.
Yes.
Okay? So I actually don't need more information.
No.
Okay?
The amount of times that I'm up at night thinking about something I don't need to be thinking about just because the internet told me to think about it or TikTok told me to think about it.
Oh, I don't even want to hear what she has to say.
Do you? Well, this actually begs another thing, too, that I have to ask you about. Because, sure, the government watching us and people watching us, whatever, tape up your computer or whatever. I'm more offended by when I'm on things like TikTok, Instagram, etc., and I spend maybe 5 seconds too long watching a particular video I shouldn't be watching, and then my entire personality becomes
Your
that
feed
algorithm.
becomes that video, yes.
That, to me, is more of a security leak of my private information than anything that computer camera is going to show anyone.
But see, this is what I'm saying, though. Just from scrolling, the whole algorithm changes.
Yes.
Now imagine if she watched me crying, eating pasta. Imagine how that would affect the algorithm.
Your algorithm would just be like helplines. Like you would just be getting, posts of you're worth it.
It would also just be like Angela Bassett and What's Love Got to Do with It? Yes. It would just be that Angela.
But it would lead to Angela Bassett in How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Absolutely.
So a vacation would be in your future.
Did you know that I auditioned for that movie when I was a child?
Did you really?
To play the little niece. There's a niece who goes with them because they go back, to Jamaica or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I had to go, "What, Auntie Stella? I didn't do nothing."
You didn't
and I didn't book it, but it was very exciting.
I once ran away from home because my stepmother wouldn't let me audition for Crybaby, John Waters' Crybaby. True story.
You ran
because
away?
We were in Baltimore and I almost ran away because I was like, there was a local audition. I was like, I have to get this movie. I love it.
Absolutely.
John Waters, an esteemed director, me leaving like a 7-year-old being like, I can do it. And then my stepmother sees Pink Flamingos or something and was like,
absolutely
no,
not.
absolutely not. Which in retrospect, strong parental choice.
Strong parental choice, but also it didn't stop you from being you.
It didn't.
I said you
Look
might
at
as
me
well
now.
let him do
Look at me
Crybaby.
now. Hi, Netflix. Still not casting me, though. You're casting her, not me. Not me. Well, Naomi Ekperigin, I love you. Where can people follow you and see what you're up to?
You know what? Come visit me on Instagram at Blacktress Comedy. Okay, that is my handle because I used to have a real job and I had to be undercover.
Yes.
Okay, and that's
Yes.
just the truth of it. I don't want to hear it.
And I'm a day one follower. I'm an early subscriber to Naomi
You
Ekperigin.
ain't new to this. You true to this.
No.
Okay.
We've known each other, I won't say how many years because we're trying to pretend to be younger with these lights. And we can't be. But yes, people should follow you.
Yes, absolutely. Visit me there. You can come listen to my podcast, Couples Therapy. Check me out, honey. I'm out here. I'm out in these streets doing my best.
Watch on all the things on half of Netflix shows because you're on them. And stand-up special, too. The stand-up half hour, episode 2.
Season 3, episode 2.
Season 3, episode 2. Love it. Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you.
And thanks for tuning in to Newsweek's Parting Shot. I'm H. Allen Scott on everything. Make sure you go to newsweek.com for more news and podcasts. And also watch Zero Day, only on Netflix. Dun-dun-dun. That's my Netflix. That's my Netflix.
That was good.
That was good, right?
That was good.
That was good. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun. It scares you a little bit.
It gets you.
It gets you. It gets you. Yeah.